Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Stuff and Things podcast. Today we're discussing The Last of Us Season 2 Episode 1. Joining me to walk through the show, it's Stefan.
Hey buddy, how we doing?
Yeah, good. A lot better than some of the people in this show, I can tell you that.
Yes.
So a little bit of admin to kick us off. As listeners to the show will know, Season 1 we dragged Marvel superfan Kaylee to the show to watch. She enjoyed it. Didn't like us very much because found it quite harrowing. And she is going to be watching Season 2, but unfortunately her work is taking her away from us. So hopefully she'll jump in on a show or two. But currently she's unavailable. So all the Kaylee fans, I apologise. It's just us, and I know that upsets people, but I'm sorry. It's just us for a while.
They'll have to deal.
Well, yeah, if you're listening. Or when I check the listening figures for this, I'm just going to see a lot of people switch off at this point, and that'd be quite harsh.
That would explain it, though. At least we'd know why.
Yeah, that's true. We are talking about The Last of Us Season 2 Episode 1. The title of the episode was...
Future Days.
Before I dive into it,
Yep.
again, just a little something. I think it's worth mentioning and sort of talking about a little bit. Do you find it difficult when shows like this have been away a long time?
Yes.
Like, there is a big gap between Season 1 and now Season 2.
I won't lie to you. I spent a while trying to remember. Like, it was like 5 years later, and I'm like, brilliant. But it's actually a good, 3 or 4 years of real time later. So what on earth happened?
Yeah, I was trying to remember when Season 1 was. I got a feeling it was 2022.
Let me have a quick look for you. It was
Okay,
March 2023 was the final episode.
Oh, well, in that case, it was 23 then.
Yeah, so a couple of years.
So basically it's 2 years, yeah.
Longer.
Now, me and Dee growing up, TV series were every year. And I know sort of do a year, miss a year is becoming a more common thing as TV budgets have kind of grown and the expectation of the TV shows, I guess, are now like Hollywood level.
Oh, yes.
So it takes longer in kind of the visual effects, stuff like that. So I do get it, and it is a visually stunning show. It is very, very good. But I do find it quite difficult. I was genuinely, and this isn't the first show this happened with, House of the Dragon, which is another HBO show. I found that second series really difficult at first. It was like I remember them. Oh yeah, I remember that person. I don't like him. Now I remember why.
Yeah. Why do we hate him? Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, so... So I was kind of putting this out there, so I was interested to see if anyone else feels the same thing, or whether... Because, me and you watch a lot of stuff, and obviously talk about a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So I don't know whether it's perhaps because of that, you've only got so much brain space. So, if we talk about this show finishes, we move on to the next or whatever. Or with this show, we're going to be talking about other shows, at the same time.
Yep.
So I don't know whether it's that, and then, okay, that's done, park that over there, move on to the next, and then it comes back around. You're like, okay, what the hell was going on with this?
Yeah, we are but simple men. We focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we're doing 2 shows. Next week, it'll be another couple of shows. So, yeah, it gets difficult.
So let's dive into this then, because people are listening for this. You played The Last of Us, the game. I never did. I've got a sort of basic understanding.
Yeah.
The game, The Last of Us Season 1 was based basically purely on The Last of Us game, the first game. Yeah. There is a sequel game, and this is... Season 2 is going to be based on that, and kind of, from the sounds of it, because the show has already been renewed for a Season 3, that's worth mentioning, but it sounds like they're breaking down Game 2 over 2 seasons of television. That's how they're presenting it currently.
Yes.
Did you ever play Game 2?
So I didn't. I have the second game.
Yeah.
And it was a case of I watched the first series having played the first game. I then went to play the second game and stopped myself. I was like, no, do you know what? I want to go into the season fresh.
Okay.
Like, I probably got the second game, about a year ago or so, I'd say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of stopped myself. I was like, no, do you know what? I don't want all the spoilers this time.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, of course, there's a big event in Game 2, which unfortunately has made it impossible for anyone who's on social media to kind of avoid a very large spoiler, because people seem to quite enjoy, like, oh, wait until this happens, and it's like, oh, you bastards.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk about that until the end. So at the end, I will give fair warning. There is a large spoiler, and we're just going to chat about it at the end from the game, just to kind of tie it in with what we've seen in this episode. But there's Steph's not played the game, I've not played the game, so we are talking purely from the TV show standpoint.
Yep.
So if we do stumble across anything in our theories and you're like, oh, I played the game, that's right, then it was pure dumb luck. There are a few things that I've seen online where people have said, oh, that's a direct pull from the game, so I'll point that out, because that's not spoiling anything, because the show's already aired. But then when we get to the end and there's something I want to discuss, I will give fair warning before we do it. So diving in, the opening and closing of this episode kind of bookends. And in the opening, we have a cold open where we have the Fireflies, sort of remaining Fireflies, have buried all of the guys that Joel killed to save Ellie.
Yep.
So again, a quick reminder, at the end of Season 1, Joel managed to get Ellie to the Fireflies and then found out that the procedure they were going to do was going to kill her. And he decided, nope, and ripped through them like a one-man wrecking machine and saved her, but in the process killed a lot of people.
Oh, yes.
There is a character we're introduced to at this point who is basically swearing vengeance. It would appear that this character's father was killed by Joel in this attack, and kind of says, we're going to hunt him down, find him. They're going to go to Seattle first, which appears to be like where there's some sort of safe zone. And then they said they're going to track him down, hunt him, and kill him. And she emphasizes slowly.
Yeah, she was a slightly unhappy character.
Yeah, I mean, is one of the things I like about shows like this, and one of the things I like to get into with this, is I can completely understand what Joel did.
Yes,
I get it. I'm a father. He lost his daughter and is kind of adopted Ellie, and so he has that. He watched one daughter die in his arms, and now he's got this kind of adopted daughter. Is he about to let her die for a chance? And it is just a chance. It could be a cure. I get it. Yeah. There are both sides to that, and it is a brilliant debate. Like, you could go round and round on that all day.
But he just condemned humanity to not being able to find a cure. Yeah. Yes, but he also didn't sacrifice his daughter. So
a child, yeah. It is it's interesting because, of course, the start of the journey in The Last of Us Season 1, she was basically cargo to him. He didn't care.
Yep.
By the end of it, she's like an adopted daughter, and he literally, like I said, ripped through an entire compound to save her. I think it's an impossible situation to say it's right or wrong, but when you've got this group of characters now, Joel has kind of been our protagonist, our kind of main focus for the show, our good guy, if you like. He's our guy. He's the one we're following, or one of the characters we're following. So when you've got a group of people hunting him and wanting to kill him slowly, instantly, well, they're the bad guys.
Surely.
But are they? So that's kind of like the question I want to put to you, just to pose to kick this off, because they're pretty justified in how they feel.
Yep, it's one of those ones. We've had this in quite a few shows that we've watched. Like, if you took yourself out of the fact that we have followed Joel's journey across that season,
yeah,
and you put yourself in the Fireflies side of it,
yeah,
where you are doing everything you can to save humanity, and this arsehole has just turned up and ripped through all of your friends and taken the one chance of survival away from you again.
yeah.
Well, clearly Joel's the bad guy.
I find it interesting that when they were talking over the graves, they didn't seem to know that about what they were trying to do, because they were talking about the rumours. Oh, there's a rumours of girl. Yeah, I've heard those rumours. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
And so I found that interesting as well, because like you said, the larger debate here is like, is one life more valuable than the whole of humanity? I mean, it's the kind of psychological trolley problem.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know that, the trolley problem is designed around if you've got a trolley, a train car or whatever going down a track, and you've got a group of people there, or you've got one child to the other track, and you have to make a choice. Do you kill the one child or the group of 5 adults? I mean, it's a nightmare problem.
Yeah.
And you got a time limit on. You got to decide what you're going to do. And with this, Joel made the decision. He chose keeping her alive over a chance at a cure.
5 years later, with her attitude, he might be questioning those decisions.
I was going to circle to that.
Yeah.
Teenagers, man. Seriously, this episode gave me like PTSD. But like I said, this episode's kind of bookended, because what we see at the end of the episode, that is 5 years later, all this time's marched on, is this group arriving in the location of where Joel and Ellie are. So that surprised me. I honestly thought that was going to come later in the season.
Yeah.
But no, they're there now. So we'll talk about that at the end, like I said, because there's kind of a spoiler part to that, which I'm going to talk about. But I just thought it was interesting that this episode was bookended with them front and end, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
So let's talk about Ellie and Joel, like you said. 5 years have passed. Now, the episode opened with those two, with an extended version of the scene we saw at the very end of season 1, which is Ellie making Joel swear that the story he told her about the Fireflies was true. And Joel does swear, but he is lying.
Yes.
We said, and I actually, a bit nerdy, I actually listened back to our show on this because I was interested to see what our opinions were at the time. We all said at the time she didn't believe him, but she chose to kind of go, okay, all right, yeah, I don't believe you. But what I find interesting in this extended scene is as she's walked off, it really lingers on him, where I think he's actually wrestling with almost going, actually, wait, yeah, I'm lying. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of really lingered on him, dwelling on it.
Yeah, is he going to call her back and go, no, wait, that's what I was told to tell you. What it actually is this?
What do you think to that? Because obviously we see this 5-year time jump, and there is a clear disconnect between the two of them. We watched all of season 1, their relationship grow. I find it quite difficult, therefore, in this episode, to see them so estranged.
I'm the same as you, actually. I was finding it quite difficult. Like, it's been 5 years now.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, oh yeah, women can hold a grudge. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
The other part of me was almost felt like I'd missed something. Like there's a disconnect between the two of them, but surely that's not still coming back from that 5 years ago. Like, have we missed something that happened out on a patrol or something, and she's that pissed at him for it? Or it was a bit of a strange one.
So yeah, I mean, I've got a teenage daughter, and it's kind of, you can see the kind of teenage angst going on between daughter, father, and I recognise that and I get that, but it does feel like it's really heightened.
Massively, yep.
It's like there's this big unsaid thing between them, and Joel's in therapy, which is like a kind of real, oh, holy crap. But that's we'll come on to that in a minute. I mean, I'm not sure. Like you said, it's like we've missed things, and I have this nagging, horrible feeling that this series is going to be full of flashbacks to fill in the 5 years.
Yeah, it's a big jump in time. Now, obviously, I know they're following a game line, which is fair enough. And in games, it's a lot easier to do that than in television.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. There could be quite a lot of, like, one of them walking down a corridor, and all of a sudden they're walking down the same corridor, but 3.5 years ago, and it's like, oh, not this.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle with overuse of flashbacks. I have a kind of Walking Dead PTSD of they use that to just fill episodes and to get the most out of you, only using a couple of cast members to save money, and it became so obvious and so painful. Like, oh look, we've just had 6 episodes, 2 characters per episode, and they've literally done the same week. So when we finally get to episode 10, something in the story might actually move forward rather than repeating the same damn week over and over again from a different person's perspective, and it's all friggin' flashback. Oh look, it's a flashback within a flashback. It became a nightmare. So I do have that kind of general rolling my eyes feeling any time a show does it. It's not really fair because a lot of shows do it very well. And, I'll try and be open to it in this, but it feels like that's what we're setting this up for, because like you said, it feels like stuff's missing.
Yeah.
And like a big explanations are missing. And they talk about things a lot. Like there's reference to Ellie having a relationship with someone and getting the tattoo that she's got. And there's loads of little references. And the fact these two are so kind of at odds with each other, it seems to go beyond the teenage girl dad kind of thing. And it's like something has happened within these 5 years where it's moved from, I think you're lying to me, but I just want to accept it and move on, to I now know you're lying to me and I'm angry about the fact you've lied to me. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, that does make sense. I think I just found it a little difficult to watch because I think, like you said, like I'm almost fearing for all the flashbacks and the kind of back selling of it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of watching it and I'm like, I don't get it. Please tell me why, but without showing me why.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, we'll have to wait and see because we could be wrong. But the one thing I would say is there's a lot of footage in the trailers and stuff which appears to be in a very different setting, and the two of them are quite happy, laughy, jokey. And I'm kind of like, yeah, there's this, like, unless something gets resolved and we get that going forward, it doesn't feel that way.
That feels like that could be the flashbacks.
Exactly, yeah. And now I've watched episode 1, that's how I feel. Knowing, just this is just a general curiosity, what you think. Knowing that you're looking at this and going, okay, game 2 has this sort of flash forward, if you like, where it is 5 years, has the time jump, rather.
Yeah.
But we want to break this down. We want to do this over multiple seasons. Do you not think that perhaps a sensible way of doing that, or a more sensible way, would have been to actually, season 2's actually, we're going to show you what happens in that time. We're going to build towards the events of game 2 by, rather than it being flashbacks, like cutscenes in the game, we're going to actually give it to you in chronological order.
even if it had just been like the first 2 or 3 episodes, they could have like started this season as, okay, Joel and that have gone back to Tommy and they're starting up. Is it Jackson something?
Yeah.
They're now starting to build this place. It's getting bigger and bigger, and then, introducing these characters that are now kind of, oh, here you go, this is the best friend and their little group that they all hang out with, and we're like, who are these guys?
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see as the season goes, hopefully.
Yeah. I will just say, again, a little bit of podcast admin. My neighbours are currently having building works done, so if you hear insane amounts of drilling and things in the background, I apologise. I will do my best to edit it out.
So the Stuff and Things ASMR version.
Exactly, yeah, just enjoy it. Enjoy the background noise.
Add to that the fact that I'm suffering with a rotten cold and I'm trying to edit out my sniffs and coughs. This could be interesting.
Oh, bless you. So yeah, like I said, we talked about a relationship where Joel in therapy, and he's with a character called Gail, who is Moira from Schitt's Creek, everybody. And also she's been in loads and loads of things.
She's in so much, this actress, yeah.
Home Alone. She's the worst mother ever. And
yes.
Gail is pissed, as in drunk, and also angry. And the reason why she's pissed and angry is because Joel's, in her mind, is messing about. He's not taking therapy seriously. He's lying to her. And she said, I've done this long enough. I know there's a problem. I know something's happened, and you are pussyfooting around it, acting like, oh no, my teenage daughter's being angsty with me. And I'm like, wow, no father's ever had that to deal with. Come on, front up. I'll tell you what, I'll start. And she tells him that she hates him because he killed her husband. And I'm like, what? What? A guy called Eugene, her husband, was killed. And she says, I understand why you did it. I get it. But I don't like how you did it. And I'm like, okay, I have no idea what, this is in the 5 years that have gone by. This brand new character is referencing a clearly big event. And again, my brain goes, there's a flashback coming. Oh, no.
Yep.
So that, you've not played the game, so I was going to kind of ask you, on this. So I don't have that oracle this time around. This is difficult.
Yeah, no, I have absolutely no idea. I'm racking my brain back to, the end of the last season going, I don't remember him killing anyone that would be part of this group with it. How he did it. So what did he tortured someone?
I'm fairly confident we're going to find out at some point, and I'll tell you why I'm confident of that, because there's a fairly well-known actor cast as a character called Eugene. So in episode 1 he's dead. So now, either that actor has just the worst role in this. Oh, look, there he is, Eugene, rotting in a field. That's not good. But no, I don't know. Like I said, I have this aversion to flashbacks, which it is now becoming apparent that's what this season's going to be.
I'm now desperately searching to find who the actor is. I'm like, oh, you got me curious.
It's a guy from The Matrix. You'll recognise him as soon as you see him. I can't think of his name, which is terrible. But moving on from Joel being in therapy, what did you think of Ellie? Because there's a few scenes which I found kind of interesting. Ellie training, sort of sparring. And there's this line where she's like, you punched me in the face, sorry I got a bit carried away or whatever. And he's like, oh, well, he pulled his punch because otherwise he'd have knocked you out. So why did you do that? Because I don't want Joel, being mad at me.
Yeah.
And they were like, no. And she's mad at that. She's like, no. He's trying to protect me all the time. Don't you dare pull your punches with me. Now I'm looking at that, and the guy she was fighting was a big guy. And if he'd properly landed a punch, you would have to say he probably would have knocked her out, like they both said he would have.
Yep.
So I do get this is sparring, Ellie. The idea is not to actually not to murder each other.
Yeah, like I've done a bit of boxing training, and I know the difference between sparring and being hit. Sparring still hurts, but nowhere near as much as a full hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be angry about it.
No, you pull the punch. You don't go full in. So I found that it was interesting because it kind of fed into this overriding theme in the whole episode, which is she is mad and feels a little bit smothered by him, perhaps. But at the same time, we know his daughter was killed.
Yeah.
And we know that she is like his adopted daughter. He can't bring himself to say it, and I kind of get that as well. But he does have that kind of... He must have that horrible feeling of, like, I don't think I can live through that again.
Which you can understand, yeah.
It is completely understandable,
and
but she is not
how
being...
close she came to death multiple times in season 1.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And, including the big bit at the end. Yeah, so
ungrateful
it is...
little bugger she is, isn't she?
She is, yeah. But mate, that's kids for you, especially teenagers.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the teenage stage. I got 3 of them that are going to hit that stage, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Mate, I can't wait. I'm going to sit back and love every minute of that for you. But one of the things in this, which again is funny, she has this. There's this great scene with who is it, Tommy, and we've seen her learning like sparring, fighting hand to hand. Now she's with Tommy, like basically sniping with a rifle.
Which was
and
cool.
Doing it.
The way he's actually talking about it properly. Yeah. So, little geek thing here. Yeah. I love it when shows actually talk about things that are real.
Yeah.
So, like, so many shows we watch, a character picks up a gun. They've never fired it before in their life. And, like, The Walking Dead, Rick's hand cannon. Like, that thing would blow the shoulder out of most people if they didn't know how to hold it.
Except for Judith.
So the child picks it up, shoots it, no image at all, no recoil, nothing. Always annoys me. So just the little geek thing like this one where he's talking about, okay, so this one's further away, so you're going to look out for bullet drop, and they're walking up a hill, so you've got to be sure. Yeah. And I'm just like, the little part of me is like, oh, I like it when they just put little details like that.
A little detail of her exhaling as she fired as well, which is how you would be taught to do this. Yeah. And Tommy is someone who would know that and has taught her this.
Yeah.
Headshots always, and then she doesn't quite make it. It's like, no, it's still good. There's also a little bit in this which I find interesting. There's a lot more of them. Yeah, I've noticed. I kind of feel like, okay, not subtle, guys. you're telling me bad things are coming in like a little hint there.
There's old Frankie foreshadow. Yeah.
Yeah. Interestingly, in this as well, he's like, okay, your next shift, you're on the wall. She's like, what? Yeah, you're on the wall. He's like, why am I on the wall? Why am I not on the patrol? He's like, well, Joel kind of, she's like, ah!
Yep.
But again, she kind of manipulates.
Tommy makes an interest. I'm sure he makes like little, I can't remember the paraphrasing here, but basically, like, you're taking too many risks. You're not being sensible enough out on patrol.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, okay, you can kind of understand that a bit from what Ellie's character we've seen before. Okay.
What I find funny with that as well, and it's also referenced a little bit later on, when they reference it later on about Ellie kind of takes that really like, why? You and Joel would do it. It's like, what? Because I'm a girl, I can't do it? And they're always left in this kind of like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
I didn't say that. Yeah.
And there's that great moment later in the council meeting where she kind of says that, like, well, you and Joel would have gone. He's like, well, that's different. And his wife looks at him, why is it different? And he's like, oh no.
Because we are taller?
Yeah, because we're army trained. I mean, that's the thing he should have said. We were military trained. But, no. Unfortunately, there was no right answer for him there, and every woman is ready to kill him if he says the thing he wants to say.
Yes.
Because we're men! Oh no! So I did find that funny. But again, it was this really beautifully done little seeds of Joel keeping an eye on her without, like, they're clearly not communicating well, but everyone else around is kind of like, yeah, we can't let you do this because Joel said he'd rip my head off. Tommy completely is under the thumb with her, though, by the way. I love that kind of uncle energy. Of kind of like, fine, you can go.
Well, you and Joel are like the same person. She replies,
That was funny.
So you know you're not winning.
That was very funny. I like that. It's like talking to the same person sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. We meet Dina. What did you think of Dina?
Oh, Dora the Explorer. Yep.
No, Dina.
Dina, no. As soon as she came on screen, I was like, oh, I watched this movie the other day with the kids. Yeah.
Is she the actress who played Dora in the film?
She is Dora the Explorer. Yeah.
Right, okay, I'm really glad you clarified that because we'd have had complaints.
No, that's fine. No, she is Dora the Explorer.
I watched that with my Phoebe years ago. I did not put two and two together.
I wouldn't have if I hadn't have literally watched it this week with the kids.
That's funny. God, yeah. What do you think of Dina then? Because we meet her initially with Joel having a conversation.
Yep.
Best friends with Ellie is how it's described at that point. We then see her with Ellie, and I got to be honest with you, the two of them are trouble. But I did smile constantly with the whole on the patrol together. They're running commentary on everything. And then there was for me, I mean, so there's two parts to this. One, when they find the bear carcass, again, a little breadcrumb, a little hint, bad things are coming. Because that's a big-ass bear has been taken down.
Yes.
Two, she makes a pun joke.
The barbecue. Oh, yeah.
So, dad joke level expert.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed because I love stupid ass jokes. One of the things you taught me from the game, and one of the things season 1 taught me, is the character of Ellie loves pun jokes. That is her thing. So that I thought was an incredibly sweet moment, but also I did raise a little eyebrow as best friends, huh?
Yeah.
That felt a little flirty to me. That felt a little bit like trying to get on your, trying to be on a certain side of you there. Where was your head in amongst all of these things?
Yeah, no, I straight away was like, they have a conversation about Dina and her partner breaking up again or something, and I was like, yeah, I know where this is going. Straight away.
I find the timing of that was funny as well, because she'd said to her, because it would appear that Ellie was involved with the woman who was put in charge of the patrol, whose name escapes me right now, and because she gave her the tattoo, and so she says to her, she left her mark on you, and points to the tattoo. Yeah. And then Ellie kind of fires back like, oh, well, you're with so-and-so, and you'll break up, and you'll get back together again. And like, the timing of her being like, no, we're not. It was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, you've just kind of clarified you're single, I'm single. So, okay, I'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
What did you think of the two of them basically manipulating the situation? We're still patrolling, we're doing patrolling, and like charging off because they're basically looking for trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, they are literally looking for trouble. What did you think to that? Because to me, it's kind of like everything Tommy said about taking risks, right there. There's no need for them to do that.
This was so kind of like the face palm, oh, kid, just stay on the horse sort of moment, you know? Like, at any point, you know something is about to go wrong.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be about to go wrong, because you should just be following your instructions of do the patrol and come back. Don't wander off. Don't take extra risks.
Yeah.
But you know it's going to happen. And you're kind of watching it, waiting for that kind of, wait, any minute now, something's about to hit the fan. Wait for it.
They do show their experience in this world by taking down the ones initially they found. I forgot how creepy looking and sounding the infected are in this show.
Just quickly before we get them going in, I quite like the moment outside where Ellie is like, let's go. And you've got Dina like, wait a minute, that's one. Oh, there's only one, let's go. And she's like, no, wait a second.
Yeah.
That's a second one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's one each, whatever. Let's go. And you're kind of like, okay, so Ellie has very much got this I will prove myself to the world sort of attitude.
Yeah.
Whereas Dina is still, she has that training. She's like, no, I'm not just going to run in there. I will follow you in, but I'm going to work out what's happening first.
Now, do you think Ellie has that because that's just her as a character, or do you think there's a little bit of arrogance there because she knows she's immune?
I think it's those two mixed in with a little bit of trying to show off in front of Dina.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah. Look at me!
Yeah, look how many I can kill. I'm
I
invincible. You don't know I'm invincible, but I'm invincible.
I am told in the game throwing a bottle is a big thing.
It is massive. Yeah.
Okay, so when she does that in this, did you like that detail?
I was so excited. When I saw her point to the bottle, I was like, oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I like that. So that's a little detail for the gamers. I like stuff like that.
There's bottles and bricks, I believe, are the two things.
Yeah, so we will see bricks. We will see bricks at some point.
Yeah.
She takes down her one. Obviously, Dina takes hers, but we see that's off camera. And then she falls through the floor, and everything seems fine. Everything's okay. She's looking around. She picks up a People magazine, and then in the top right corner, something moves, and it freaked me out.
So this is quite funny. I saw it. I was like, oh, what was that? And the wife's like, what was what? So, what was what? And I was like, did you not see? It was like a giant monkey or person or something moved across the top of the shelving bit at the back.
It was just there. It was there in the background, and until it moved, didn't like that at all. The thing moved by like crawling around. Now, this is not something we saw in season 1, so I'm asking you: is this something you see in game 1? Is this a version, or is this perhaps something from game 2 that you've not seen?
Not something I remember seeing.
Okay, so I basically just because online they're called a stalker, and is smart. Like this one doesn't just run at her, and even when she shouts at it, and it lures her in, and attacks her. That freaked me out.
For showing Ellie's kind of arrogance to the whole situation, I thought.
Yeah. She gets bit on her stomach. She does then hide it from Dina, obviously because she's hiding the fact she's immune from everybody. Yep. Literally, I think it's Tommy and Joel that know, and that's it. I don't know.
How weird was the bite thing where you could see the little wormy bits outside the teeth marks?
Yeah. So, what did, again, that scene, Dina's like, oh, you're okay? Yeah, no, I'm good. Attention to detail, I will say someone's done an amazing breakdown on YouTube and basically showing that the People magazine, all of the stuff on all of the shelves is bang on what would have been the month's issue and everything in the month the world fell apart.
That's cool.
So someone has literally gone through it, the whole thing. They've been like, yeah, the packaging on this People magazine was the one from like would have been on the shelves.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that stuff.
Yeah, I know you do, so I thought I'd mention that. But I also like that me and you obviously delve into this stuff. We kind of talk about it, we go through it, but I do love the fact there are people out there who literally went and looked all that up. That is the kind of level of detail. So, like, you're creating a show like this, you have to be aware nowadays that someone is going to check all of this, make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know. We're keeping these showrunners on their toes. But yeah, it's funny. But yeah, they got it. They got it spot on.
One person in the back that goes, the Hovis didn't change their bread wrapping until 3 years after.
Yeah. I mean, it is
Other
kind of funny.
Other bread brands are available.
But if Hovis want to send us some free bread, I'm all for it. Actually, no, not bread, because bread's how this whole thing started. There's no bread. No. Watching this show again puts me right off. Like I said, they report to a council. We learned in the episode with a scene with Joel and Tommy's wife talking about building and expanding everything. What did you think to the interaction between them where, well, one, the joke about her saying build faster and him being like, oh yeah, there's just this little dial and you dial it up and everyone works faster.
I loved that.
What cracked me up is when his brother arrived and he's like, oh, she wants me to build faster. Did you tell her about the dial? It's like the pair of them, like, you pair of friggin' idiots.
I know, that dial thing is going to be used in my work life at some point.
Yeah, I can see the problems already in the future.
Can you do it faster? Oh, let me just turn the dial up. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any chance you can work faster? One moment.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yes. I've been quite lazy today. Actually, yes, I can. But there is this magic dial. I'll tell you about it another day.
Yeah.
But the whole building thing, it was kind of interesting. What did you think to the interaction around Joel being like, if people are trying to clamber onto our lifeboat and they're going to sink the lifeboat, we shouldn't let them clamber on. Basically saying we're taking in too many people. Like, I'm building as fast as we can, but we're growing too fast. She had this kind of look on her face of quite, shock of like, you were a refugee once, Joel. Like, how dare you kind of bring that up. Now, purely at face value, it's an interesting debate. In the apocalypse, you're looking after you and your own and all that kind of things. Yeah. It's a debate that we would have on The Walking Dead on a regular basis. And in this show, that debate's obviously going to continue. And I can, again, there's two sides to this, which are perfectly arguable and quite good.
It's so difficult to try and find what side's correct, because part of you is like, you want to be able to help everyone. Like, that's a natural human thing, is to want to help as many people as possible.
Good people, definitely, yeah.
However, if you've only got a food supply for 6 months for 100 people, the more people you bring in, the lower that food supply becomes quicker.
Yep.
And in this situation, it's like they're trying to build more houses and expand, but you can only build at a certain rate.
Yep.
You don't want to be turning people away. I mean, there's two reasons to not turn people away. One, it's not a good thing to do.
Yep.
Two, if they then go and find someone else who takes them in but they're struggling, they're going to turn around and go, there's these arse-hats down the road. They've got a massive area. Let's take that over. You're creating enemies by turning people away at the same time. So it's very difficult.
I know this might be niche and perhaps there isn't a lot of crossover between the Walking Dead audience and the Last of Us audience, but I do have the character Negan's voice. People are a resource.
Yeah.
Like, he's on about not taking people in, like, buildings really tough. The next lot that come in, like, okay, what did you do? Oh, I was a builder.
Hey, you're in. Yeah.
I was an electrician. I was a plumber. I was this. It is the debate on it. Like you said, it's no good. They could be the most qualified, helpful people in the world, but if you can't feed them, all you're doing is making them and others suffer as well.
Yep.
So the debate, you can go round and round. The thing I wanted to put to you, and this is where we could end up, getting pelters, or me in particular getting pelters. Do you feel the show's also using this to hold a little mirror up to the world as well?
Quite possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there is certainly a debate around, we shouldn't let any more people in.
Yeah. We live in a country where at the moment that is a very hot topic of...
Yeah.
Yeah, that could well be, yeah.
So I did find that interesting. I mean, we're talking from a UK perspective. Obviously, everywhere around the world has their own unique set of circumstances, and I won't dive into any of them right now. But it just felt a little bit like, okay, you could look at it that way. This is holding, like, this conversation, this debate is actually very similar to what's happening in the world now, even though it's not, well, we don't think it's apocalyptic. Perhaps it is. Perhaps we are living in the end times and we're just not realising.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we are on that weird timeline ever since that gorilla died. Anyway, moving on from that. All throughout the episode, are you going to the thing? The thing? Are you going to the thing later? What about the thing? Are you going to be there?
Just call it a party, people. Come on.
a New Year's party. Like, why didn't anyone say it's New Year's Eve? There's a party.
We literally get Tommy going, it's 4 years and 4 hours till New Year. Should we adjourn?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
It must be a New Year's party then.
Finally, someone's pointing out what the thing is.
That made no sense to me. That was just weird that no one mentioned what the thing. I'm like, mass sacrifice? Like, what are you on about?
Yeah, this is where we kill Eugene again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the way you killed him. What, every year we cut a bit more off him? I don't know what your problem is.
There's a sacrifice every year. He was that years. It's fine. Yeah.
To the gods. So yeah, the thing was a party. Ellie gets there and Dina's smashed off her chops, high as a kite.
Yep.
And drunk.
Doesn't that just show a little bit about society? Like, the end of the world has happened, yet they've still got pot.
Yeah, I mean, basically, and it seems to be some sort of currency as well, like having it and trading it for things is...
There's a fungal, planty thing killing people. Yeah, don't worry, we'll smoke it.
Someone out there will try. You know they will. So, again, and I find it kind of interesting, this party. Now, what I liked about this, a few people have shared this. Apparently, there's a lot of direct scene-for-scene stuff from the game.
Cool.
Which is great. I like that. So, but I wouldn't know. But apparently there is. So again, if you played the game, let us know. Was that the case? And did you like that? In her and Dina end up dancing. Our suspicions were correct. Dina does now lay it out quite clearly. No. Everyone's looking at us, and they're all jealous of you because they should all be terrified of you. Like. And then smacks a kiss on her.
Yep.
I saw that coming. I was like, yeah, okay. The signals have been getting sent pretty heavily throughout the episode. The kiss leads to a gentleman to be very unhappy with this. It's a family event.
In a church.
Two girls kissing. And as you know, he's kind of made his point a little bit, and you're like, oh, you're an asshole, but all right, whatever. You kind of made a point, but then he says, "Dykes," and it's not nice. A homophobic slur being thrown, and Ellie's about ready to rock and roll, but Joel out of nowhere launches the guy.
Yeah,
and so here's the thing in this, which I think I understand, but at the same time, I am very much Joel in this instance. I gotta say.
Yeah, you insult my child.
Yeah, I mean, I actually feel the guy got off lightly.
Yeah.
Tommy's wife takes him out. Like, come on, let's go for a walk. Let's sober you up because Joel will kill you. Just so you're aware.
Just ask Gail.
Yeah. There's a guy called Eugene still hanging outside. And all he said was good morning on the wrong day. But
I did like the fact that Gail was actually there at the party having a drink watching it happen. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, they deliberately lingered on Gail in the moment where Ellie tells Joel, like, F off, I don't need you.
Yep.
And he just very solemnly, like, okay, and just leaves. And
I kind of want Joel to turn around and go, yeah, tell the Fireflies that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. maybe that's not the time. But I guess a little bit embarrassed that his daughter's just shouted at him in front of everybody. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe just like, I don't know. I really felt for Joel in this. I know there's going to be people saying he's wrong and this, and he's kind of hovering around her.
Hashtag Team Joel. Is that am I still cool with hashtags? I don't know.
Yeah, I really felt for him in the moment because when he did that, I felt, yeah, well done, Joel. And when she had to go at him, it felt like you could see his heart broke a little bit. Like, I'm just sticking up for you. Like, I like you, like, you are who you are, and I'm here sticking up for you, and you're having a go at me in front of everyone. So when he just kind of sulked off, I was like, oh, that's horrible.
Poor Joel. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I got to be honest. I didn't like that. I don't like this dynamic between them. I don't like the fact that I felt I had an entire season building this relationship that I loved, for this episode for it to be gone.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. So I don't like Ellie.
I don't think that's unpopular. It would appear to be quite a...
And I don't know. Again, this is where it's a little bit difficult that I haven't played the game, because I don't know if it's literally written into the game, like, you know, Ellie becomes an absolute ass and has like this redemption arc further down or something. I don't know. But having watched the first episode, I'm like, I do not like where this character has gone.
Yeah,
now,
so,
you have a teenage daughter, so that might be completely natural.
Yeah, we've had conversations where I've discussed with you her maybe not making it to the next birthday and things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an experience. It's an experience, and one that, and she listens to this, by the way, so I'm going to be a little bit careful. but yeah, it is an experience where it's a little bit roller coaster. One of the things we see in this sort of towards the end of this episode, which I think is important we point out, earlier when Joel was discussing with Dina about the building and stuff like that, and she said our foreman isn't foremaning, and he was kind of distracted doing something, I guess keeping his mind occupied with these breakers, electric circuits and things.
Yeah.
But whilst he's doing that, they found a load of vines in a pipe. Now, me, knowing what the issue is in the world, that would be a big deal.
That
to me, in my mind,
flag.
Yeah, to my mind, that's like, why isn't that like, holy crap, burn this out, you know, holy crap, what is this, you know, alert, why isn't it a big deal?
Yeah.
And now I get that it was all kind of like dead and it was vines and stuff, but later on, you see someone drop a sparkler in this New Year's Eve party next to it, and you see the quadriceps.
It starts to react to it. And I remember obviously from the first season in game that they talk about it having like the hive mind.
Yeah. And
I'm like, oh no.
Like, so it's within the walls.
Yeah.
And we know, like, so I found that a little bit odd that like someone would report like, oh yeah, we found all this in a pipe, and no one be like, okay, well we need to sort that out.
Can we
so
burn
it feels
that out
like
straight away, please? You know?
Like Joel's distracted and this has happened. I think that's what we're getting there. Like Joel's distracted by, holy crap, I got all this building to do and everything, and my situation with Ellie, and he's missed this, and it's a big miss.
Yeah, massive. I think that's going to have a big part to play in this episode.
Yeah. Something tells me that's going to come up. So that's kind of interesting. We do get this kind of ending scene with Joel. Earlier on in the episode, he tried to talk to her and failed, and then he just took her guitar to restring it as like a kind of, oh, I'll do this. Like just, again, jobs for himself. And she returns from the party and he's sat on the porch playing the guitar, and it looks like she's going to go and talk to him, and then just strops off into the garage where she's living.
Yeah.
Rather than living in the house with him. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm struggling with the relationship between the two of them, but I think to discuss it a little bit more, at this moment, I'm going to sound the spoiler warning. So basically, what we're going to discuss now is an event from Game 2, which I know about, and I know Stefan knows about. But if you've not played the game and you're trying to avoid all of this stuff, thank you so much for listening. Step away now, because we're going to discuss it, and then we're going to wrap the show. So, but if you are happy to hear this, then obviously stay with us now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are in the spoiler zone. You have been pre-warned. Nice.
You need to get like a klaxon sound to play there. Yeah.
Well, I do have one. But weirdly, a long time ago, I used it and it got copyright struck. And I'm not entirely sure how the hell someone can copyright a klaxon sound.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll have to try and find the new one. Anyway, in Game 2, Joel is killed.
What?
He is brutally killed.
That's not a bit I knew.
Don't do that. The group that we see at the beginning of this episode find him and kill him brutally with a golf club. Now, what apparently happens in Game 2, and I've learned this just through people sharing stuff online, is then Ellie there are flashbacks of her and Joel, and she kind of is conflicted with how she feels about him. And like you kind of said a minute ago about this redemption of the character arc where she's been a right little cow, you know, suddenly she starts to remember all these good things, and yeah, it kind of, the relationship through flashback, based on the fact this group showed up there right at the very end, I'm starting to think that the show's actually going to follow that. It actually looks to me like they are going to kill him, like, early.
Yeah, see, I was of the thought process of knowing that was going to happen, and knowing that they've done season 2 and confirmed a season 3.
Yep.
For me, it made sense. The finale of season 2 is that event.
Yep.
And that's kind of going to build up to that, and then season 3 is the fallout. However, I have been told that from the game, it happens quite early.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, they're going to do it early in this as well?
It would appear they're going to follow the game format, which is killing him early and then basically him appearing in flashback throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's going to be a moment.
Now, I do know, and this kind of, because I'd hoped they were going to change this. I know people who were fans of the game
would have
lost their minds, but I'd hoped they were going to change this, because to me, TV, like, if you base something on something, following it line by line doesn't always work. And I genuinely feel, and I could be wrong, that the casual viewer, I remember with The Walking Dead, Negan killed Glenn. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
And after that episode, their audience figures never recovered. I mean, you know this, we used to talk about it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
After that episode, so many fans of The Walking Dead went, nope, I'm done. Like, that was, no, it was a character I loved, I've been following. You just brutally murdered him. This is my jumping off point. And when I say a lot of audience, I'm talking millions. I'm talking a very, very significant number. Like, the ratings on the show, you watch up to that season, you know, obviously had peaks and troughs, but it was very sad. And then that finale was a big audience. The following season going on, never recovered. And so in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a casual viewer, I've never played the game, and I'm purely watching this show, there are 2 characters I'm following and I care about.
Yeah.
With Tommy possibly being like a tertiary part to that. You kill one of them,
it's going to be difficult.
There is a very real possibility that person's like, well, why am I watching the show for then? And when you look at the fact that in this opening episode, Ellie's very unlikable.
Yeah.
Very unlikable. And Tommy's sort of in it in the background, like he has been, and I'm sure he will come to the fore with Joel gone. But you're kind of watching this show for Joel, and also Pedro Pascal's a big deal.
Oh yeah,
he's a phenomenal actor who a lot of people possibly watch this show because he was in it. Like, oh, I'll give that a go. Pedro Pascal's in a TV show. Oh yeah, I'll give that a go. I'll see what that's about. So I genuinely thought, to me, that would be a big risk to do that. So when I learned what happens in game 2, I was like, that to me feels like you need to change that. Like, you need to come up with something different, because if you follow that, you could well lose a big chunk of your audience.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Well, time will tell, but it feels to me like this could be next episode, or maybe the one after. Like, it feels
I can't
like it's
see
going to
him
happen
lasting
soon.
more than half the season now.
Not at all. No.
Was there seven episodes?
I think so. Yeah. No, I think it could be next week. I genuinely think it could be, because the fact they showed up at the end there, I mean that shocked me. That I genuinely was like, oh wow, okay, so this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean,
at the same point, did it take them 5 years to find him?
Well, they did say they were going to Seattle first, so
yeah,
they could have gone and could have potentially had some things to deal with, and then, but also, it's a big country.
Well, that is true.
You know,
It's
the
not
fact
like
they
The
found.
Walking Dead where you can find someone in France just by going to the exact location straight away.
Well, I was just about to say that it took him 5 years. I think that's about, yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah.
That's, you know, trying to piece together who he was, where he was, how he got places,
Probably
rumours,
done it
following
quite
down
quickly, actually, thinking
leads.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years. They've done well.
And it looks like they're all on foot as well, and that's a lot of walking.
Yeah, well, I'd like to think that that's a recent development just to get to where they are, and they've not done the whole thing on foot, because that would not seem realistic.
5 years makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's walking from. They've only walked down the road. He was like 10 minutes on horseback,
Yeah.
but it's taken him 5 years in the snow. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, it's interesting. I'm worried about it because I do feel for myself as well. I do feel I'm going to be a bit switched off. I do feel that, and I kind of knew it was coming because I saw the spoilers from the game. I had in my head like, oh, surely they're going to change that, and I've explained why I felt that way. But then, of course, I heard that Pedro Pascal wrapped filming about 2 months before everyone else, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. You know, the fact he's filmed the Fantastic Four whilst this was still finishing kind of suggests that he wasn't needed on set.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, he really is nailing the kind of nerd level of appreciation from me. He's the voice of the Mandalorian.
Yep.
He is in the Fantastic Four, just joined the Marvel
Mr.
Cinematic
Fantastic,
Universe.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's also in The Last of Us. Well, currently in The Last of Us. So yeah. Pedro Pascal, big fan.
He's literally game adaptation, Star Wars,
Yeah.
and Marvel. He is literally the voice of a Disney prince
our guy.
away from having the monopoly.
He's our guy right now. Mate, was there anything else from this episode you wanted to discuss?
Personal opinion. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy this episode as much as I enjoyed season 1. I don't know if that is because season 1 I had played the game and I was so excited to see the game put on the screen. And I haven't got that same level of, oh, look at that direct attack. That's a direct reference to that. Or because things like the bottle, I was like, oh my God, yes. I used that throughout the whole first game. Throw the bottle, run away from them, you know.
I think it could be as simple as what we've already touched on, which is there's a big gap between the seasons, so it's a bit of a disconnect, and the attachment to the characters isn't quite there because of the time.
Yeah.
And also, Ellie's a dick in this episode.
Yes.
Like,
oh yes.
And that makes it difficult. Like when the characters you are following become unlikable, that's an issue. Now I get it, and this is obviously no. And please be aware, I'm not slating any actors in any of this. This is me just pointing out that her character in this is very frustrating.
Yeah.
Like but again, teenagers are, and that is. So I think she's doing a great job.
Yeah, like I
because,
know in the first game and the first series,
yeah,
there were things that happened with Ellie that kind of make you go, oh, kids. Oh.
Yeah.
And in this season, it's kind of carried on to, oh, teenagers.
Yeah. And I guess that's it. I mean, I guess that's it. But I do think perhaps that's why, because I found this episode, there wasn't a same buzz of like, oh, this is so good as I had from season 1, which was kind of from minute 1 it felt like, oh wow, what's going on, whereas this, it felt, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some great scenes in it, there's some really good stuff in it, and it to me felt like a very much a kind of, okay everyone, we're gonna just ease you back in.
Yeah, it felt quite slow.
We're just going to, like, remember him? Yeah, everyone remembers him. Good. Right, now we're going to remember her. Everyone remember her. So it felt a little bit like that. And kind of, we get to this point now where I think episode 2, like I said, I fear for what's going to happen in episode 2. And I do think to myself that there's a very real possibility that there's a lot of the audience just won't like it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the reaction goes. Because like we say, we reckon it's going to be episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That will be very interesting to see the reaction once it happens.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, mate. If there is anybody watching this show that has social media that doesn't know what's about to happen. No, like my wife has absolutely no idea, but then she also doesn't use things like Twitter at all.
I mean, I would say there's a lot of people who use social media, but not for TV. Like, your algorithm shows you what you're interested in. So there's possibly a lot of people who watch TV shows, but then don't search up about it. Whereas me and you are like, oh, who's that? Or, what's going on with that? And look into things. So our algorithms are built around, like, being a bit nerdy, people explaining things. Oh, this didn't make sense. Oh, here's someone explaining it. I'll watch that video, and then you're watching 400 of them.
Yeah, the
whereas
YouTube,
other people like
rabbit hole, they call it. Yeah,
big time. Yeah, I mean, you can do the same thing on TikTok now, just faster.
Yes.
So yeah, I do think I mean, again, I could be wrong. You could be right. It could be everyone expecting it. I think it's going to shock a few people into just switching off. Personally,
it has got that potential, isn't it?
It does. Okay, so that is our show. I want to thank everybody for continuing to listen. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who reaches out and gets in touch with us via any of the means you have available. You can email, you can chat to us directly on Discord, you can speak to us via the podcast apps, which I know a lot of people like to do, especially on the Pandora app. But yeah, get in touch. Let us know what you thought of episode 1. Let me know if I completely spoiled it for you and you stayed listening in error, because I'm sure someone will have a go at me over that. But yeah, until next week, everybody. Stefan, would you like to say goodbye to all the lovely people?
Goodbye to everybody.
And I'm going to leave you with this. Now, this is going to be the outro for the show for this entire season. And the reason for that is I just kind of feel like this is it's from season 1. But it just kind of explains things, and it just kind of reminds everyone that this is actually based on a real thing. Until next week, you all take care.
Billions of puppets with poisoned minds, permanently fixed on one unifying goal: to spread the infection to every last human alive by any means necessary. And there are no treatments for this, no preventatives, no cures. They don't exist. It's not even possible to make them.
So if that happens,
we lose.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.